I wanted to share messages from your higher self, and on the back of each one has a message on how to take better care of yourself, how to look at life from a more spiritual perspective, and how to share the gift of your inner wisdom, first of all with yourself and then with the people in your life. The reason I decided to do this is because in my 78 years, I have had issues in my life, as I'm sure you have in your life, that either relate to health issues, addiction of people I love, the loss of some people I love, my own health issues and cancer, and many other stressors, which I'm sure many of you are going through right now. And what has helped me most of all is to come from a more spiritual perspective, because I realize that most of our life's wounds are caused by our egos' decisions of how life should be, what ought to happen, how other people need to respond to us. And sadly, we can keep hitting our head against the wall, trying to be right, trying to be in control, trying to change other people, or we can come to more inner peace. And after being an internal family systems therapist for 35 years and learning about higher self, which we are calm, clear, compassionate, curious, creative, connected, confident, all those C words, and grateful. So when we come from our higher self, instead of our reactive parts that are angry and scared and judgmental and blaming, we can get more peace. And then when I studied at the Chopra Center with David G. and Dr. Chopra and Claire Diab and learned about higher consciousness, where we can meditate, we can journal, we can get more in touch with that higher self and bring that higher consciousness back to our everyday life. So I put all that together and I wrote down 52 words that meant something to me, from abundant to willingness to joy to hope to love. And then at a challenging time in my life, I took those words and I wrote a message to myself that helped me feel better. So I send them all to you, and they're available now on lindakroll.com/Etsy. So no matter how old you are, you can try something new. And in my messages from your higher self, I see it as a daily reminder. So you can just flip through the card deck. You can think about something that's bothering you. I'm going to think about something that's bothering me. Could be in relation to another person, could be a judgment about myself. So wherever you are, just stop and you pick a card for the day. So I'm going to pick a card. Messages from my higher self, willingness. A beginner's mind to allow for what is. So I'm going to be sharing these with you because I want you to get your own. Because when I show a willingness to be with what is, and come to a beginner's mind, what that means is I'm not prejudging it. I'm not preordaining it. I'm not telling the world how it needs to be. I'm showing up with what is. And that is a more spiritual way to live. I often say that most of our judgments in life, most of our worry, most of our pain is caused by our ego's wounds. Our ego's needs to be right, to be in control, to know what's happening, to have people treat us like we think they should. And when we have those ego's wounds, we can put a spiritual graft on it, G-R-A-F-T. And my graft is gratitude, radical acceptance, forgiveness, and trust. And those words are all in here in my messages from your higher self, because gratitude allows you to be present to what is and be grateful for what is. So even if you have relationship issues and you're facing a separation or in the middle of a divorce, and I know how painful that could be, when that happens and you're at least grateful for what is, it shifts your energy. It shifts your energy to that higher self so that you can show up with more compassion, more calm, more creativity, more connection to your parts of yourself and to the parts of others that are triggered by you and you by them. I hope you'll look up the deck so that I can help you use them and in your higher self, make a difference in your personal feelings, in your relationships, in your family, in your community, and in the world. Because what the world needs is more of you coming from your highest and best and giving that to yourself and to the people in your life.